All right, everyone. So we're back for a unscheduled part two. The timer decided to run out on me in full transparency, and or I didn't pay attention to it, and I don't know. We got caught up in the show, and so here we are for part two to kind of finish things on not a cliffhanger there. So we were talking about Kevin Durant, and who I think is the best Thunder player ever, and I don't think it's really that close. But apparently, the argument was made on ESPN that if Oklahoma City wins a championship, then SGA is the best Thunder player ever. And you said yes to that, right?
I could see their reasoning, yes, because he brought them the ship.
Do you agree with it though?
No,
Okay, that's what I'm
no,
asking.
no.
No, Kevin Durant's the best player that Oklahoma City's had. Could SGA get there? Sure, he's the MVP. He's the best player on what's the best team that's probably going to win an NBA championship. Maybe he becomes that, but not. It's too early for that.
Way too early. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, come on, you can't have that much recency bias. Kevin Durant is an all-time great who cannot be stopped offensively. It's it's still Kevin Durant. I was making the argument that before we got cut off on part one, that that Oklahoma City team, which you thought a friend of ours, I remember before they even when they got to the finals that year in 2012, a friend of ours had said via social media, Oklahoma City or Oklahoma City Thunder, the NBA's next dynasty. I remember being like, "Whoa, haven't even got the one yet. We're already talking about a dynasty, especially with Miami having LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh and
hmm
company." I was like, pump the brakes on that a little bit. But you look at that team and you think, yeah, that looks like a dynasty. I was like, hang up. My argument though, let's let them get one before we talk about a dynasty. And they never even got one. You know, if it were any other team than a loaded Miami Heat super team with LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh, yeah, uh, I think Oklahoma City would have gotten one. But small market team, Harden left. Oklahoma City made. I mean, they had a window after that, but even then, they weren't the best team. I thought but they were up there. They were a top tier
yeah.
team, but you looked at it and you're like, that's not the favorite, not anymore, not without Harden. I wrote an entire column on it when Kevin Durant did leave Oklahoma City for Golden State, talking about if you couldn't win one with Harden, you probably weren't going to win one without him. And that wasn't the subject of the column, but it was part of it as far as reasons why Durant left, and really rightfully so. If your ultimate goal is to win a championship at that point in time, but yeah, okay. These okay. Let's put that team. Let's put that 2012 Oklahoma City Thunder team against this Oklahoma City Thunder team. Who's winning a best of seven series? And yeah, this is silly, hypothetical, never happened. Who cares? That's it's fun to talk about and debate sometimes. Who do you got in a best of seven series?
I would go with this team, this year's team. Depth, man, depth,
I was going to say, explain why you choose.
depth, depth. They've had their best season. They've won more games than that team did in the regular season. Their numbers are better, and I think their depth is better. That's the reason why I'd pick this year's team over 2012.
I
Durant,
would
yeah,
say,
Durant's going to put up points. I mean, he's going to put up points, but I think this team puts up more points.
well, you can't forget about Westbrook and Harden too.
You can't.
But here's the thing too. Yeah, 68 wins this season for this Oklahoma City Thunder team that didn't have Chet Holmgren for 50 games. Yeah, I remember that. You missed a big piece of the puzzle and you still won 68 games. Uh, yeah, I think this. I would rather play this Indiana Pacers team than that Miami Heat team,
Yeah, that's
100%.
yeah,
But I would also pick this Oklahoma City Thunder team to beat that one, which is weird to say, but
yeah,
also
it's
true.
wild.
But I think that's because they do kind of have their big three. That's not as uh,
Established.
yeah, or not maybe as the spotlight isn't on them as much or as celebrated, whatever the
They have
words
their
are
own.
I'm
They
trying
have their
to.
own AT&T commercial, man. I think Spotlight's on enough.
Hey, that's fair. Um, I don't know, just it's maybe it's because of the youth, but that Thunder team was young also, but I think
Yes.
this one's even younger. And yeah, the 68 wins without or and you didn't have Chet Holmgren for 50 games, and you've been dominant in the play. Like you've been dominant in the playoffs. You've had some duds here and there, but you can afford to do that in a 7 game series. I would also pick this Thunder team. No one's stopping SGA. No one's stopping Durant on the other side. But here's the thing, and I hate to do this because I thought Russell Westbrook was really good for the Thunder and really good
Yeah.
in that finals that they did lose. I thought they made Westbrook the scapegoat unfairly so. Because for whatever reason, Kevin Durant was untouchable. He was the ultimate good guy for Oklahoma City. He was considered, the superhero that was going to take down the supervillains in Miami. That was how the media kind of portrayed it and how people took it, which I thought was unfair. Um, it just but because but Westbrook is still Westbrook. Yeah, he was really good in that finals, and again was unfairly made the scapegoat. But he would still have games where he took more shots than Kevin Durant. He should have never taken more shots than Kevin Durant in a game. He would have turnovers that would make you scratch your head.
Yeah.
I hate to throw Westbrook under the or kind of make him the scapegoat, but that would be a reason I would say. But it's not just that. It's also Oklahoma City's big men are better, deeper, even at that spot. I'll take Chet Holmgren over Steven Adams, obviously.
Yeah.
I like Jalen Williams doing things defensively and even offensively at times, just in that depth role. And also, like you said, that this Oklahoma City team is deeper, just more talented from top to bottom. You don't get 68 wins in the regular season by accident. That's four away from the '96 Bulls.
Yeah.
And again, you didn't have Chet Holmgren for 50 games. So I would also go this Thunder team, but I'm still saying Kevin Durant's the best player ever in
Best player,
franchise history.
best nicknames, Durantula, Slim Reaper.
Yeah,
Yeah. But that 2012 versus this year, man, that'd be one hell of a game. But
for
yeah, if I had to
series.
place
Yeah,
money on it, yeah, if I had to place money on it, it'd be on the 2025 squad.
yeah. I that would be my pick. Also, they're just surely they're going to win the NBA championship. I think they'll do it in 6, but I certainly wouldn't be surprised if they do it in 5. Maybe, and if they do it in 5, yeah, it's like, well, yeah, you should have done it in 4. But who cares? The championship's a championship, whether it's in 4 games or 7. Uh, but can SGA be recognized as that guy? Yeah, eventually, especially if they keep winning chips,
Yep.
because it's a franchise that hasn't won one.
Yeah,
At least,
if they do become the A dynasty, yeah, he overtakes Durant.
yes, you're right about that. But and I say by franchise, I mean since moving to Oklahoma City, since they've been the Thunder. Obviously, they did win one in
Yeah,
Seattle in the '70s.
even with Seattle, I feel
Yeah,
comfortable at saying even including Seattle's history.
no, I'm just saying. I was saying they're only the franchise hasn't won a championship. I was like, well, technically they have, but not as the Oklahoma City Thunder. But yeah, Kevin Durant won an Olympic gold medal for USA damn near by himself in 2021. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that he carried that USA basketball team to a gold medal. When LeBron didn't play, when Steph didn't play, when all these guys that all of a sudden wanted to play in the last Olympics and other stars that sat out in 2021, Kevin Durant was the guy and played that role at an A plus level and won an Olympic gold medal for Team USA. I'll never forget that. On top of doing what he did for Golden State, was the best player on a team that won 2 NBA championships. Was the scoring champion, averaging 30 plus year after year. He's finally showing his age, but it's Kevin Durant. I mean, just look at his resume. I'm not putting SGA over him yet, but yeah, you win a couple more chips and keep playing like you're playing or even improving. Yeah, we can talk. We can absolutely talk. And like you said,
Oh,
maybe even put him above him. But we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
nope.
Okay, well, let's get out of here on this. Stanley Cup Finals underway. Florida took a commanding 3-1 or 3-1, 2-1 lead in the series last night with a, what, 6-1 win?
6-1. Yep. They were scoring plenty of goals.
Yeah, game one did not disappoint. I
Game two
watched,
was
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, well,
They
game
both
one
went to
was
overtime.
also.
Yeah, both the first games went into overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Lived
great.
lived up to what we've come to expect in the Stanley Cup final. Edmonton got the first one. Florida knotted up at one apiece in game two, and then it was just all Florida last night. Wasn't close. Really wasn't even that entertaining to me. And I really like watching the Stanley Cup final when I can get a chance to sit down and watch. Wasn't that entertaining last night though? Edmonton didn't show up, and Florida pushed them around the entire game and I mean dominated on the scoreboard and just on the ice. I mean, just was the dominant team in every facet of the game last night. All Florida. You picked Florida in 7 or 6.
I think it was 7.
Okay, I think it was too. I picked Edmonton in 7 just because it's so hard to repeat in the NHL, and also because you have the best player on the ice in Connor McDavid, or the league for that matter.
Yeah.
Like I, even though Florida dominated last night, I wouldn't be surprised if Edmonton came back and won the next one.
Yeah, I kind of expected.
Yeah, right. Or even if Florida wins game 4, Edmonton will come back and win the next 3. I wouldn't be surprised. Stanley Cup Finals weird like that, but
Yeah.
that's what makes it so entertaining. Just the level of parity. It's so, and it's so close. The top teams, like the talent on each side. That's what makes it so exciting. You gonna change your pick at all? Or I mean, it's set in stone.
I'm
That's
gonna
the
stick
pick.
with it. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with it.
I say it's set in stone. That's the pick. But I was like, if you had to do it again, would you change it? But you're sticking with it.
I'm gonna stick with it. Yeah, it's gonna be a great weekend for sports. We got the Stanley Cup. We've got the College World Series is happening. Uh, let's see. We've got a U.S. Open, a golf major going down this weekend at one of the toughest golf courses on planet Earth, up at Oakmont Country Club outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You'll probably see at least 2 not top 10 plays come out of this golf tournament, I would guess. Yeah, it's going to make them look like your average golfer out there. And everybody's fully expecting the winning score over the course of 4 days to be uh, over even par. So they're not even expecting under like negative scores. So it'll be entertaining to watch. So, and you also have the NBA Finals. So pretty good stuff happening this weekend.
Yeah, our Razorbacks Saturday night against LSU. You touched up on that. I'll going back to the NHL. I'll stick with my Edmonton 7 pick, but I'd feel really good if I picked Florida right now. especially after how Game 3 turned out. Uh, like you said, they can score goals, man. Uh, but yeah, it's a great weekend for sports. Just time of year for sports. Uh, yeah, I think the UFL had their conference championship games. Hadn't watched a lick of
It
the
did.
UFL all year.
Couldn't tell you who played in it.
Couldn't tell you either. I saw that one of the conferences was named XFL, and I think the other was UFL, which is kind of weird. But I don't know how that works, but I don't know. I'm rooting for the league. I just don't think it's going to make it. There's too
Yeah.
much other stuff going on this time of year, and streaming options, etc. We've covered that on the show, so I won't bring that back up. But just something to add. But yeah, we weren't planning a part two, but we didn't want to end things on a cliffhanger because that's just unprofessional and silly, and we're not going to do that. But yeah, finish my thought on the SGA being the greatest Thunder player ever with a chip. Um, Debate there, if you want to call it that. Anything else to add, Brad, before we get out of here? And I say one more time because it's annoying when I listen to this back.
No, can't think of
Okay, all
anything.
right. All right, we're going to get out of here on that note then, and we'll see y'all next week. Plenty more to talk about. We'll talk about Arkansas either in a positive or not so positive way, I imagine. NBA Finals, how that ends up, NHL, Stanley Cup, etc. Till then, we'll see y'all next time. Grandpa,
The Brown.
deuces y'all.
Peace.